Hi, my name is Katie, and on Instagram I'm Sew Tattered, S-E-W Tattered, and on here, Sew Tattered. Yeah, my name is Katie. I am a stay-at-home mom. I have been married for almost 24 years. I have 2 kids, both boys. They are 22 and 17, and they're a lot of fun. They're the coolest kids I know. They're so cool. I love them. And I got on Instagram about a year ago because I really wanted to connect with other people who cross stitch and quilt, and I don't have any friends or family who do that. So I was longing to have that connection, and I was like, oh, I don't like social media, but I thought if I make it just about this, because I love this, and but I was scared. Like, I didn't want to get my feelings hurt because I'm very squishy emotionally. And so I didn't want any of my feelings hurt. So, but I took a chance and I got on there and immediately just found the nicest group of people ever. And they were so welcoming and accepting, and not one negative thing. A whole year and I have not had one negative thing said on anything that I've posted. And so I told myself, again, I watch a lot of Flosstube, and I have a lot of friends on here that is a one-sided friendship because they don't know I exist, but I love watching them and what they're working on. And so I thought, well, I told myself, if I get to 1,000 followers, on Instagram, I'm gonna start a Flosstube. And I did, and my mom said, look, you did, like, you should start your Flosstube. And I said, oh yeah. And then, so I recently said, when I finish this sampler, the big sampler that I've been working on, I'll start Flosstube. And so I feel like I should, so I did, so I am. So this is, and if it goes well, then I'll continue to do this. If I can't get through this without being ridiculous, because I don't know how to edit, so just know that anything I say is just what's it's just gonna be on. And I've had to start this like 4 times. 2 times for crying, 1 time for not being able to stop laughing, and the other time is there was a loud sound and I didn't warn beforehand. So my son, who is 22, has autism, and I share this wall, and he's loud, and he does this scripting thing. It's really cool. It's he memorizes movies and shows and whatnot, and he says them very loudly and reenacts it, and it gets a little crazy in there. And so if you hear it, I don't pay attention. I don't even hear it anymore. So, but if you hear it, that's what that is. If you hear screaming, it's probably the cat. Cahoots likes to walk around the house screaming for attention. It's very annoying. And this house is never empty. So my husband works from home, my son, and then my 17-year-old is, out of school for the summer. So it's a constant chaos in here, but it's great and I love it. I love it. So a little bit about me. I started quilting 10 years ago. I needed a hobby. My kids are getting a little older and I needed something to keep me busy, and I have always loved quilts because I love going to the antique malls and stores, grew up in them, and so I have always just loved quilts, but they're very expensive, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna have to learn how to make that, because anytime that I can't afford something, I just learn how to do it myself. So that's typically what I do. And so I went and found a lady at a quilt shop, and she lived in that quilt shop, and I asked her, I said, hey, do you have any sewing classes going on? And she said no, but if you come in anytime you're available, I will teach you. And I thought, this lady's crazy, she's gonna get so sick of me. So I brought my sewing machine in with me. I had no idea how to use it, and she took her time in teaching me, and it was amazing. I went in there and she says, which one of these quilts do you want to make? And I picked out a Dresden as if I knew what I was doing, and that was really hard. That was a very, very hard quilt, and it did not turn out. It was really bad. Bless her heart, when she put that thing on the long arm, I can't even imagine. I don't know how she got it quilted at all, but it was a mess. But I learned how to piece. I learned how to put the top together, But she did all the long arming and she put on the binding and then gave it back to me. And I said, okay, what do I owe you? And she said, nothing, just teach somebody else. And so I'm constantly looking for some, and nobody wants to learn. Everybody's like, oh, I'd love to do that. And then they're like, so maybe one day. But so because I didn't learn how to actually do the quilting part or the binding, I kind of just stalled. I stalled out, and I went a couple of years, and then just had kind of like one of those aha moments. My husband was working on things in the garage. Yeah, I think he's working on his Bronco or something, and he couldn't figure something out. He came in and watched a video on YouTube and went out and fixed it. And so I was like, huh, I could probably do that. So I got on YouTube and found all kinds of amazing people to learn from. And it's pretty amazing what you can learn on YouTube. And then I put together quilts, and I became obsessed, and I have a huge love for reproduction fabrics, antique reproductions, and super obsessed with Betsy Chutchin. I love Jill Morton and Pam Buddha and Kim Deal. There's so many, and I love them. And my fabric increases quite quickly, more than what I can keep up with. But I have an amazing husband who supports all my hobbies, and so he's never complains, never. And I can see his eyes glass over when I kind of talk about this stuff. He's really good about listening. He's learned the lingo. He knows what people that I watch. He's like, oh, is that your saltbox friend? And stuff like that. But yeah, he's very supportive. I'm very lucky. So yes, so I do the quilting, and then I do I love wool applique. I do a lot of that. And then in 2020 I needed a hobby that was quiet. So because my kids were learning from home and my husband's working from home, and they would complain about my sewing machine. And so I was like, I could do cross stitch. Like a lot of the quilters I watched do cross stitch. So I was thinking I could do that too. So I got a chart and the floss, and I did it and became crazy about cross stitch, just like everything else that I like to pick up. But it was funny because when I was watching people and they were showing their whip parades, I was thinking, how do people have that many whips? And yeah, it's out of control because I have no rules. So if it's something that I want to start that day, I start it. If I have been working on something for 2 days and like, I want to work on it, I switch it up. Because I don't want to feel pinned to something. So I do a lot of back and forth with the quilting, the applique, the cross stitch. Cross stitch seems to get a lot of love because it's quiet and I can do it in the mornings because I get up at 4 in the morning just to have that time. And so it's convenient for me to do cross stitch, and I love it. It's very calming, and so I drink my coffee, I do my cross stitch. It's great. And then when the rest of the house wakes up, I can do the things that are a little bit louder. But I said when I finish this sampler, I'm gonna do my Flosstube, and I finished it. And I'm not gonna cry because I cry when I talk about the sampler, so I'm gonna not do that. But Mary Jane Crofts 1845 is something that I've been working on since I think April, and I bought it from the market release this year, and I was like, this is so pretty. And then I got the floss. I'm using the call for DMC, and I was like, oh, those are so pretty. And so it's just I have to do this one immediately. So I picked it up and I started it. Mary Jane Crofts 1845 by Lila Studios. I don't know if it's Lila or Lila. Lila? I've heard it said both ways, so I'm not really sure. You guys can yell at me. But it's so pretty. Those colors are so pretty. So I used the called for DMC, but I switched out the linen to Dirty Teacup by Needle and Flax, because it's my favorite. When I saw this chart and everything, I was like, I have to use my favorite, and it went so perfectly together. So I finished it. So here it is. Try to get the whole thing in. Okay. Isn't it so pretty? It's so pretty. I couldn't put it down. I've never picked up something and just worked all the way through till I finished. Never. And I couldn't put it down. And it's so pretty. I did everything as charted, except for my mistakes. Those weren't charted. Those I just threw in for free. And then I did change one thing. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I lost my Maisie. And that was really hard. And this was something I was working on in the mornings and during those last days that were really, really hard. And the last morning I was with her stitching, I was working on this flower up here. And I had to make goodbyes, came back, and the next day when I picked this up, I was just like, couldn't get her off the brain. So I finished that flower with an M. So I did make that change. And I don't know, it doesn't make any sense. I'm sure it would have made more sense for me to pick one of these beautiful little hearts or something to do that with, but I was like, but that was what I stitched on last, and so it just felt right. So this has become a very sentimental piece to me, and I love it. And I'm gonna get this one framed. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited to get it back and finished, fully finished and hung on my wall. So love it. I really encourage people to do this one. I haven't seen much of it done on Instagram or anything. I don't know anybody's working on it, and it's so pretty. Yeah, so if you've got that one in your stash, you should totally pick it up and start it, because I'm telling you, it's addictive. I couldn't put it down. So I was so excited to get that one done. And then so that means I get to move on to something else, which was kind of bittersweet, but it is Christmas in July, which I am a huge Christmas fanatic. Love it. I start letting people know that I decorate after Halloween, but I'm telling you, sometimes it does come out a little earlier. So I'm going to start back on Christmas Garden by Blackbird, because I was working on it last year, and I was oh, I'm gonna get this. Oh, I didn't finish it. So I need to get done. Oh, here comes my kid. Hang on, Carson. I'll be out there a little bit. Sorry. Okay, so this is Christmas Garden. I'm doing it with all the called for overdyed floss. I liked the variegation and the fading, the antique look of it, so I kept with that. And then I am using 40 count marbled bunny. So here's the called for. And then sorry about the wrinkles. Let's see if I can make this not look so bad. So I don't have very much further to go. I'm pretty close to getting it done. So I should be able to get this done before Christmas. So this is what I'm gonna pick up again. I really like this one. I'm doing it all as charted. I know some people have changed a lot of things on it, and it's really cute. But yeah, I like how it was charted and the colors and everything. And so I'll get started on that one. Hopefully that will be a finish soon. So that's what I've been working. And then when I'm done with that one, because I'm guessing I'm gonna stick with that until it's done, but who knows? If I don't, that's fine. I'm gonna start with, I went to my L&S and I saw Plum Street Samplers Jack's Bash on the wall. This is not me. I don't do things like this. I don't stitch things like this, but I don't know. I have to stitch that. I really like that one a lot. It's really cute. I don't do people, but they don't have faces, so I think that that's okay. I don't know why I don't do people. I just don't. I see all these really pretty things that people do with the Adam and Eve and the angels, and I don't do people. But I really like this, so I'm gonna have figured out what linen, or I'm waiting for the floss to come in, and then I'll start on that one when I finish Christmas Garden. So that's my plan. And then if this goes well and it's not ridiculous and I don't get my squishy feelings hurt, because that's, you know, I'm very squishy, I'll do more and show whips because I have a lot of them in stash and ridiculousness. I have a lot of ridiculousness. And so I think with this one, I'm just going to keep it kind of short. So that's the cross stitch I'm working on. With quilting, I picked up I was doing the sew along for Susan Aki's book, and we were all doing with Fat Quarter Shop. We were doing summer picnic quilts, and I went on vacation and got behind. But that's okay. Vacations happen. But it's such a pretty quilt, and I'm doing one a little bit different. I tried not to repeat any fabrics in any other blocks, and so I had to go through my stash, and I made a huge mess. But it's okay. I found fabric that I was like, oh, I forgot I had that. So I'm waiting on the border fabric to do that. But I have all the blocks made. I have it all laid out on my giant design wall over here, and so that one's going to be finished pretty quickly. At least the top is, because as you can tell, I like to do tops and then finish them. I'll get that finished. And then other sewing, I am working on, I haven't done Hexies in forever, and I thought I'm going to start doing Hexies again, because on my vacation I was going to do this in the car, because you know that's what all of us do, is stitch on things in the car. I can't do that. I tried to do cross stitch and it didn't work. I can't see those holes, and it's so bumpy, and my husband just laughs and he's like, thinks it's hilarious, and I can't do it. I'm in the car all the time with him going to play. I can't. So I thought, oh, I'll do Hexies. I don't know how y'all do that. I can't do it. So I didn't get a lot done. That's all I got done. And I'm gonna tell you that the screen did not, none of that happened in the car. That happened on the couch. But I've been making them. I'm very excited. I did, sorry, Judie Rothermel. This was a jelly roll that I got. So it's very easy to make those Hexies out of jelly rolls. If y'all just starch them, I starch. I'm a starcher. They see me coming out the store, they know what I'm doing. I buy like 50 cans of starch, not 50 cans, but a lot. And so I've been using that, and I'm working on the Hexies. And then wool applique, I'm doing one of those. I am doing, see now I'm bouncing all over the place. I was supposed to be looking for something for Christmas in July, and I didn't. I picked up this book. She's my favorite wool applique person. I love her. She sadly is no longer with us, but her stuff is amazing and I love it. And I am going to do this. So I got the stuff all ready to make this. So cute. And I haven't done a project like this in a minute, so I was excited to pull this out, and I'm gonna get all the pieces put together for that. I pulled out some wool and some linen. And the fun thing about this one is you do cross stitch as part of the project. So the outside of it has, the binding part is cross stitch. So it's all the things. And so I'm gonna be working on that. And then, wait a minute, I jumped off somewhere. Oh, I'm also working, so I've got a lot of things going on. 1777, I got this from the Country Sampler, and it's so cute. And my husband's already said this is going in his office, which he already has a flag, a Texas flag in there, but why not more? And so the only part that I've gotten done is the top part. I still have to work on the stripes, but so like this, like this. So this is what I have so far. So love it. They have the most, they kit things up so beautifully. They're beautiful kits. I love getting kits from them. And so I've been working on that. And then, let me think. Okay, I went over cross stitch, quilts, wool applique. Yeah, I think that's everything that I'm like currently working on. But this will be interesting. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I really want to do this. I love watching Flosstube. I love how I've already been able to be connected just even through Instagram. But it's hard. It's hard when you don't have like those friends that do the thing that you love. You're very passionate about it, and you can't just talk with people about it. And that's hard. So it has been amazing getting on Instagram and having that. But I'm hoping that this will do well, and then I'll come back and make more videos. I have tons of whips, tons of stuff I've already worked on, tons of stuff that I have a whole cart over here of nonsense that I've put together, worked on, and put away. And I need some accountability. I guess maybe this will help with that. But yeah, I love it. I love it. It's so much fun. And so I think I've said everything. I've made this video so many times that I have forgotten if I've said things or not. So, but hey, I can make another one, right? So, so if you could follow me on Instagram, I'm Sew Tattered, and I put all my stuff there. That's gonna be my main go-to. I hope that I do more of these videos. We'll see how this goes. And then, yeah, so just a couple of little things. I really want to say thank you to the Flosstubers, because I wouldn't know how to do cross stitch if you guys didn't put stuff on YouTube about the how, and just all the influences. Like, you guys are, I just know, okay, today I'm watching a lot of Flosstube, so I'm gonna be spending some money. It's terrible. Pause, shop, it's terrible. And so I do that. And then the quilters, I love the quilters. I love having that. Some of my favorites, I mean, I feel like a lot of you guys do the same. You'll do both. So Saltbox, of course, and Pumpkin Hollow Quilts. She's a fun one for me to watch because, you know, I love her quilts, are really beautiful. And then Brenda and the Serial Starter, of course, and the Calculated Stitcher. I know there's so many, and now I'm forgetting them. But I watch a lot of you guys. I watch a lot. And then it's fun following you all on Instagram and seeing everybody and just having that support. And I always look forward to what you guys are doing and inspiring me. It's been a great community, and I really appreciate everything. And we'll see how this goes. And then if it works, then hey, I can come back and I'll do more. You gotta be nice. Don't be mean. But thanks. All right, bye.